poppin' YouTube? It's Dan the Man back at it again. I always laugh at how many things that kind of goes well with, but let's put it over here. Oh, look at my Camaro! It shall be mine one day, if not soon enough. Life sometimes is just crazy. So, and some of you men who will reach out to me and want to join my economic army, yada yada yada. You will. Well, in a sense, become apostles. All right, apostles, disciples. What do you call it? What was the other one? Whatever. I'm Jesus. But you're all meant to become Jesus yourself. Okay, that's the goal actually. A true master makes other masters. Okay, he does not want followers, but the master also understands that this is a multiple lifetime play, and that his students now may need a couple more lifetimes before they arise the Christ within them. Okay, I know this isn't about Christianity per se. Well, again, those are just labels. Joshua, Emmanuel, whatever you want to call him, right? Depending on what scripture you believe in, or scriptures that are not, I guess, available to the public, whatever, right? Did not intend for it to become a religion, but that's just how things are, whatever. Okay, anyway, so this video, so I was thinking to myself, okay, well, again, you have to be crystal clear about what you want, and I know what I want. I just haven't. Well, it is put down somewhere. It's put all over the place. Like, and sometimes it's not about putting what you don't want, but what you do want. Okay, that's the thing. Remember, it's a difference between the cup being half full versus being half empty, or running away from something versus running towards something. It's all a matter of perspective, because your perspective is going to give you certain outcomes. If your perspective is based in reality. So this is kind of what we're dealing here, right? What is my ideal woman? Oops, my ideal. I say women. Sorry, ideal women, not woman, because men like me, and again, regardless of men like me, every man and even every woman wants other people. The reason why they may be kind of slanted and skewed is because of sexual dimorphism, where men are stronger and they have pioneering and are the ones that have been gathering the resources. But on a straight biological fundamental level, right, women also get sexually aroused by physical, good-looking men. Of course, those men are rare. That's why it doesn't happen as much, because of evolutionary biology, psychology, whatever you want to call it, right? Yes, women can, they just can't F anybody they want, because men become very, very, very jealous and possessive, right? Maybe not as much as women, because if that was the case, then men wouldn't be cheating with women that were married, and or whatever, or I guess dealing with sex workers, whatever, right? So yeah, that none of you are gonna understand me until you take a good listen, and not just once, but maybe two, 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Of the Conversation with God audiobooks, not reading them, because sometimes you will project your feelings onto the words when it wasn't trying to convey that. Whereas hearing the words, right, there's lesser. You can still project things onto things that are not actually being said, right, or misinterpret things. So, but yeah, you guys won't understand me when it comes to the sex stuff, especially you ladies. Unless you listen to the book very closely. And again, even then, some of you are not ready to unplug from the matrix, and that is okay. The irony of life is that it's already perfect. Everything you see around you, everything you call perfect and imperfect, it is actually perfection. Why? Because if you're a religious person or a spiritual person or whatever, right, you simplify the cosmology like this. If you believe that force, whatever you want to call it, God, Jah, Buddha, whatever, right, whatever you want to call that, is perfection itself, and we all stemmed from it, we were created from it, then how can anything it created be imperfect? How can perfection create imperfection? It's an illusion, all right? Love created the opposite of love, fear and hate, so that you can experience the concept, not just knowing it. You want to experience it, right? It's like, you know sex is great, but it's still not the same as experiencing great sex, okay? And with lots of beautiful other gods and goddesses, okay? So, what was I saying here? Yeah, you're already perfect, okay? Even in your imperfections, because there's perfection in the process. The process was made to have fun, okay? Sure, and sometimes in the process, right, the low end of the process, right, the turbulence, the pain of thing is annoying, but if you rise above it, you're like, you're just stronger and better, and you feel, right, just like your greatest meal is when you're the fucking hungriest, okay? Your greatest sense of joy and love and whatever is when you've, I guess, been backstabbed the most. When you can release that, you bring a great euphoria. Though the euphoria though is scary because when you're up there, you don't really want to come down, So it's more about what I see. It's more about like, instead of having huge valleys, it's more like, can you have a nice rhythmic steadiness? Okay, and of course, life's gonna throw you some curveballs, because that's what life is. Life, this video game reality called life, right, ain't nothing without some challenges. Okay, so that's why people incarnated. Just because you're like, I wouldn't incarnate as a black starving kid in Africa, or a girl in rural India who's gonna get killed in like a couple of weeks. Who are you to judge that soul's journey? Again, the soul's indestructible. So why are you worried about the lifetimes they chose, no matter how short or long it exists? Okay? And of course, part of the work, once you realize this, is actually remembering it instead of getting caught up in the matrix again. And that's the other challenge in the game. Don't forget, hold the vision, hold the higher thought of who you really are. This is all temporary. No matter how good or bad you have it, however you define that, you will transition to another body, another point, to start a fresh new journey without the memory. That way it's a fresh new journey. You don't have everything, okay? So it's the divine dichotomy of the universe. Okay. Oh shit, I should set 30 minutes. Might do less. So, okay, so talk about ideal women, right? This right here, okay? And I'm not, forget about her race and her blondness or whatever, right? I'm saying whether she's Asian, Latina, Caucasian, European, it doesn't matter. As long as she has this general shape of what I guess I would call this slim waist, thick bottom, chest, again, between B and C, as you'll see here. That's my preferred, okay? Some guys like bigger chest. Now, of course, if the girl comes with a bigger chest, but she has all these personality traits that I like, of course, I'm not gonna be like, well, you don't have B's or C's, so yeah, get out of here. No, because it's also, especially if that punani is tight, man. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. So yeah. Recently, I had a girl come back. Right. She's like, now that I've experienced life, because I always make basically custom reviews for these girls. Again, I don't judge girls. Again, every girl's doing it in different ways. Some girls just do it more, more aggressive about it, I guess, right? They're all kind of looking for love, even if it's the love to put up with their fucking, what's it called? What do you call that? Not her abuse, her. What's it called? Fuck, I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. Oh yeah, with her trauma, right? Hopefully to the point where she finally lets go and heals, right? Allows herself to heal with you, right? Being there as a supportive, whatever, right? They're all looking for that for the most part. And depending on how you define love, especially how the way Conversation with God defines it, okay, then it's even just, again, openness. There's no possessiveness. Okay, hey, you're not obligated to stay. If you want to go, fine. But again, in my world, it's like, once you go, don't come back, okay? I mean, especially if you actually agreed, and what I have is a contract, okay, or an agreement, plan, whatever you want to call it, say some shit, okay. So anyway, so because first of all, I never offered her. Wait, did I offer her? No. I just told her, I'm like, look, like you telling me you want to be married one of these days? You already fucking had a kid with some dumbass idiot that somehow you defend. Yet in other times you're like, I had to leave because it wasn't working. Yeah, because he's a fucking lazy ass dude. She's like, I don't want a relationship about money. And yet it's like, wait, you're not with your baby daddy because he ain't making no fucking money. Like, Jesus Christ. And then you catch him on this shit, right? They either rebuttal with some dumbass denial ass bullshit or excuse or blah blah blah, or they just don't acknowledge it because they know they're in the wrong. And instead of being like, okay, yes, you're right, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, like, please guide me so I don't have these fucking results in my life anymore. No, they're gonna double down on their fucking insanity. So I'm like, I tried giving patience with you, but I have to respect myself too. And at one point, that's it. You cross the 3 strikes, be gone. Okay. So now, but again, she never signed my thing, so she can, in a sense, still come back. Because regardless, again, whether a woman approaches me or not, which is so rare, I see it all the time. They're all like, they're eye fucking me, and they're, but they're too afraid. They're too afraid. So that's why I'm like, just stop lying. Don't tell me you're this smart, strong, independent woman, because you're fucking not. That's just basically it. Okay? I just don't like liars, period. And women are bigger liars because you men allow them to fucking whatever. And then they're surprised when you men lie to them. I still don't advocate anybody lying, but liars beget liars for the most part, right? So anyway, but she had, oh my god, the tightest fucking coochie because she had a C-section. I didn't even notice. Again, ladies, you having a kid at a younger age is better for you biologically, but economically, in these times, it is not, unfortunately. But that's not how society was supposed to be for the most part. The young kids were supposed to have the kids because they're young and fertile, and then the wise elders were supposed to raise them. Not these young kids like this fucking 20-year-old girl raising now she's 3 or whatever, because she had him when she was like 17 or whatever, 17, 18. So sad, but damn, that box was tight. And she was already talking about bringing some of her friends, but of course I overspoke, right? Yeah, you really gotta dumb down shit with women, but at the exact same time, it's like, why am I gonna dumb down, right? And also not acknowledge my experience, my wisdom. It's like, I'm almost 20 years older than you, right? 18 and change, and yet you walking around and you're like, you know more. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, why would any man want to employ such an insubordinate employee? Because basically what I told her, again, that's the truth. You want money? Okay, fine. Then it's like I'm hiring you as an employee or independent contractor. It doesn't really matter in this context. Well, it's actually more like independent contractor because I'm not going to be processing her taxes. So it's really more like that. Okay, because that's the fundamental difference, right? If you take out their taxes, right, and they don't have an LLC where you write a check to the LLC, then you are an employee for the most part, right? So, or if you have an LLC, whatever, they don't take out your tax, they just give you a check, right? They don't give you insurance, all this shit, then you are an independent contractor, okay? But they don't get it. The whole independent contractor is to tell you, hey, you are free. You are a free being. I'm not trying. This is an open job market. You can quit anytime you want. She's like, well, what do I feel like doing the whole year? I'm like, that's why I said you can quit anytime. You get prorated. At least you'll make some of the money of the total that I'm gonna put into your account or whatever if you fulfill the thing. So, but yeah, these girls don't fucking listen at all, man. It's like, just open an adult film company and call it a day. Okay, so yeah, so this is right here, right? I actually have a whole other spreadsheet of a bunch of screenshots that I took from women that were on dating apps, Tinder, all that shit, right? To show what I'm kind of attracted to. But funny enough, at the time, I got a lot more white girls than anything else, because at the time I was in Oregon, which is predominantly even more white than a lot of other states. America's predominantly white, obviously, but I'm saying Oregon's even more white, right? Now that I got to Florida, plus I lived in Colorado and California and Illinois. Illinois is a little bit more whatever, but whatever, they're out there on Instagram, right? I can screen capture that. But like I said, it's basically like this, Well, glasses, she looks, well, I don't know, those are safety glasses, pretty, but I doubt it. But glasses can sometimes work as safety glasses, right? At least there's a barrier or something not hitting your eyes. But what I'm saying here, yes, just that slim waist, thick ass, the arms, they don't look too fit, right? Again, not that I wouldn't mind. I mean, the ass is fit, right? So there's this girl, oh my god, man. Hey, she's watching my channel. You know, this she kind of had the same body. Her breast, I don't know how they look. Well, the other girl didn't have much breast either. I see that a lot from a lot of gym girls. But okay, like I said, as long as it's a B to a C, right? B's pretty small, everything's fine. But here I'm just saying like, right? She's working, she's helping her man. This guy, whoever built this channel, right? They built this like really nice house and minimalist, right? Modern type shit. But I think she's Eastern European, you know. So but the Eastern European girls are not like this at all, man. They're flat backs, man. They have no ass, you know. So I'm like, man, it's like I want the femininity of a Latina in a sense a black girl's body, right? In a sense, uh, yeah, Asian Latina femininity, right? And black girl slash white girl body. Because look at this white girl with some great yam. So that's why I'm gonna use her as my thumbnail here, but. All right, so let's break it down. My ideal woman, right, between the ages of 16 and 27. Now, like, 16. I say that because Georgia is one of those states. I don't know how many other states where girls are adults at 16. They have the right to consent to sexual whatever intimacy. So yes, okay. And the reason why I was 16 because at one point it was 16. It actually was younger, but they keep switching the laws as a society delayed adulthood. For better or for worse, and yeah, that's some states take longer to update the laws. They're like, you know what, we got other better things to do than worry about updating the age to 18. Like, come on, look at these fucking little 14-year-old girls being on TikTok and shit like that, basically using their sexuality to their fertility, their youth to seduce men and whatever, right? In whatever ways, whether they make money or not, or just get likes for attention. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so a slim, thick gym body, right? Okay, so realistically, I know I can find 16 to 27-year-olds, you know. But I live in Florida right now, so. But if I put in my profiles just Atlanta or the states that have 16, I can find them. Then again, I'm not sure if. Well, 16 to have sex, but they still may need to be 18 to sign my contract. So it's more like 18, okay? 18 to 27. The reason I stop at 27 because I know within a year or so I'm going to have enough money to whatever, and that'll be her peak fertility. By that time, I figure out if she's feminine enough, right, qualified enough to be one of my baby mamas, basically, you know, or kids, birthing parent, whatever you want to call it, you know, all these stupid things, all right? So, B to C size breasts, right? Again, now, of course, if she's a D, right, or even an A, but she has all these other attributes, then, okay, I may overlook that. But I'm saying ideally and realistically, she'll be able to find that, okay? So that's not really a big difference there. Has no desire to wear makeup or anything fake and extra, okay? Obviously realistic, most likely she will want to wear makeup and wear needless things, meaning like jewelry, all this other shit, right? And usually like some kind of label, like Gucci and Gabbana, Louis Vuitton, all this dumb shit, right? So, and that's most women. Again, I know it's going to be very hard to find that, but it's fine. Again, since I know realistically I'm going to have to pay, right? Then okay, so since I'm paying, I'm the customer, I want this. Okay, wear your makeup, wear your necklaces, wear all that shit on your own time. But when you come to visit me and we're together, I don't need none of that shit. Okay? Lives by herself and pays all her own bills, which again, this is where dating older women, this is most likely, but again, they're older now. Okay? So again, not that I may not make, if I somehow meet a woman that's 32 or whatever, 31, right? Maybe even 35, but she's fucking got the package together. More importantly, her fucking mind is right. Then yeah, I'll produce with her if she already agrees to, be like, yeah, we're she's in this realm, okay? Meaning she's logical and pragmatic about things and know that living together is going to kill romance and all this other shit, and that we're going to need other partners anyways, so. In order for me not to feel basically used or whatever, or to stick around, right? She gets some other benefits. She needs, she's not going to make me pay for anything. Okay, it's time and orgasm for orgasm. That's it. None of this. Oh well, I deserve more because I'm the woman and this and that. Okay, fine. If that's the case, if you're gonna be one of this, it's gonna be very short-lived, and I'm gonna kick you to the curb once I'm done utilizing you. Okay. Now I'm not using you, or because there's a difference, or I am using you, but I'm not abusing you because why? I am compensating you. You want compensation? Okay, fine. Remember, there's to every action or inaction there is a consequence. All right. Actually, let me blow this up so you guys can see this a little better. I think. Let's see if we can go even higher. Oops. Yeah, let's scoot over here. I forgot that when I do this widescreen, it gets a little crazy. Okay, so. All right, Liz Barry. Yeah. So obviously, realistically, she lives with roommates and or family because she's young. Okay, I can't hold that to women. Just like these women, like, oh, you don't make 100K or whatever. Like, bish, you're 20, 23. The guy's fucking 23. He wasn't born in a rich family, like, because those are very rare. And you want him to have his crap together at early 20s? That's why I tell these girls and everybody's like, this is why in the past parents sold or families, right, agreed to pair their younger daughter with an older guy who's established, or they know that he's already going to receive inheritance from his father who worked his ass off and got the resources and whatever, right? Anyways, and of course, certain women, they go down that path and then they regret it. They're like, okay, now I want a man with something, and like it might be too late at that point, So who knows? Anyways, does not want to live with me, okay? Because she knows that being around each other all the time, we're gonna get into each other's nerve, and we all need our own space, not only just to get away from each other, but to express ourselves in the way we want to express ourselves, right? So if she wants to be a fucking cat lady with plants and all this other shit, okay, great, do that over there on your own place. You paint up your walls, fill every nook and cranny with fucking pointless shit, okay, if you want, but you're not doing that with me, okay? Go express yourself over there. Again, I'm not judging you as right or wrong. I'm just like, that's not what I'm looking for, right? I don't want my place to be overrun like that. I need my shelter the way I want it to be, right? So obviously, more realistically, she will want to live with me, but again, I think I can control that a little more. Again, if I put her on salary, like, look, okay, here's 60 grand, okay,
drink water.
You can afford, you can afford your own place, right? So, but she wants to, like, no, I want to be with you all the time because my parents and my friends and this and that, like, that's just sleeping in different rooms. Oh my God, like, do you not love me? Had they only paid attention to all the sexless marriages and people who are now doing that, they do that. And of course, sometimes it's just like they don't even love each other. It's like, hey, I mean, you could put two beds together. That's what I plan on doing. I plan on putting two queens together here soon when I get my 2-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom condo, townhouse thingy. Yeah, because I don't know. And even though I don't necessarily sometimes take the fourth, I usually take 2/3 of the bed, right? Because my phone's over here, I guess. Again, I just want that space for her too, if she's like that. Especially we have kids, right? We have kids and fucking dogs or whatever the hell, right? You want a bigger bed, Fuck that king size. You want 2 queens. Pun intended. All right. She pays for her half of the dates, okay? Now, see where it gets complicated here, especially with realistic, right? Because they've been told they want, I should be paying because if I don't pay, then I don't appreciate them and I don't love them. When funny enough, it makes them de facto escorts because I'm trying to get the cheeks. She knows I'm trying to get the cheeks, right? And therefore, she's like, well, I won't give you access to the cheeks unless you pay. So I'm okay, then fine. I'm just going to go to my sugar babies. Like, what the hell? Like, if I already established an agreement, an arrangement with them that, hey, come over, I bang you, here's 250, 300, 400, whatever. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Cool. Again, they want to be taken out. So if I'm feeling lonely, which I don't, I just feel horny, be like, okay, cool, let's go to Disney, let's go whatever, right? It doesn't matter to me, okay? So anyway, so yeah, pays for her half a day. Well, and of course she's young, so she probably doesn't have that much anyway. So even if she wanted to pay, she wouldn't. But the next best step is okay, fine. We'll keep a ledger, and as you get old, that's the thing. Cause see, most likely she's picking a horrible career, and given the way inflation is and the way things going, unless there's some super correction in our economy, which I doubt is going to happen, Okay, there's gonna just be more and more. We're just become more and more the wealth, the gap between the wealthy and the poor are gonna be even higher. Yeah, no, like her paying off that debt. Now, of course, I would give her kudos to pay whatever she's willing to pay. Um, what's it called? Uh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about something. Yeah, if she, and let's say by the time she's like 60 or whatever, she finally repays everything that I kind of paid for her having a date. I would give her much respect. Okay, and that's it. That's all. That's all. That's all. Okay. Well, what? Because if I give her something, I'm still kind of playing to the whole, oh, you're a female, because you're a female, you deserve this extra stuff just for being a female. That's where it gets just really irritating. Talk about entitlement. Okay, so yeah, you would just get my respect. Say, hey, okay, cool, you're a cool person, and ironically, knowing who I am, I probably would give you something of greater value just because of the appreciation. Okay, it has to come naturally, not an expectation. Okay, there's a difference. All right, we'll make other men get tested before having sex with them. Okay, and this obviously I can't verify, but what she will do is pay for her own STD test before we have sex, right? Because that's what I'm gonna do, whether it's a sugar baby or a highly evolved woman, as I would call this, right? My ideal woman, right? She's like, okay, we're both gonna go to the clinic together, so we both see each other getting, the phlebotomist taking our blood or whatever, right? And we both wait basically 2-3 days, right, for the test to get back. And by that time, if I have my own laboratory, which I plan on buying my own, laboratory, then it'll be instant results, okay? Because I'm the owner. It's like, hey, priority. Spend this, spend these, put these in the centrifugal and in the mass spectrometer and all that shit and fucking test if this girl's clean, okay? So obviously, realistically, I know a lot of women are too afraid to ask men, and it's cost prohibitive. Again, in this world, they really are broke, right? Most people are broke, okay? So that's why when you do the logistics, right, to have safe sex, truly safe sex, and you want to be truly safe, is to test, and you're paying at least $350 for a thorough test. And there's other tests that I found that other places don't do for whatever reason, but you can still get those STIs, So if you actually combine it with that test and that test, because they're not. Well, I guess you could buy the single test. I gotta figure that out. But still, basically, so now if you add all those other tests that these other company doesn't do for whatever reason, right? And the turnaround time, because this shit has to be flown all the way to, I think, Europe, and I think they send it to India after the fact because it's cheaper labor and all this other stuff. It's whatever. But so in that case, you would have to, you would have to, do it ahead of time. So by the time it comes back, okay, you pass the test, let's fuck. Okay, and then the next day or 2 days, the next test comes from the next girl, and so forth, and that way you know what's up, right? That's why sometimes having them live with you is even better, but that again, there's no guarantee, right? They can go, hey honey, I'm going shopping. Hey Tommy, I'm going, let's do a quickie in the grocery store because I want to feel like a bad woman, right? Like that one show was giving these women retarded ideas. Hold on. What's it called? The Good Wife or something like that, right? Where she's basically secretly being a little, basically a lying WHORES, right? So, all right. So let's see. Yeah, if she has insurance, she gets tested every 3 months if sexually active. Okay, that's a possibility, but again, depending, yeah, a lot of people are lazy, and depending how old she is, right? Usually, maybe in her late 20s, she might be able to do this because she's probably had some jobs now, or maybe has secured a job, right? Most women don't really do jobs like that, especially if they're providing insurance, right? Stability, as some women put it, right? All right, so obviously my ideal one would, hold on. Willing to co-parent our kids and the other kids I may have with other women, right? The real, trust me, I know I'm gonna find one woman that is going to, see herself as a soul first, and everybody has brothers and sisters. Be like, yeah, why would I not want to take care of my other brothers and sisters that came from another brother and sister, right? So, anyways, realistically, most women wants the Disney fairy tale, even though they would choose to end first. Now that can be with me. I know it's a little different. I know I probably will be the one who will want to end it first, but the average man does not want to end it first because he doesn't have the options to buy more. Right? He basically put all his eggs in that one basket. So, but as we can see, regardless of that, women are pulling the divorce grenade and the let me dump you grenade so I can go find something better, or just to be free. But still, they're still going to try to find something better, right? Because they're just like, okay, been there, done that, had that guy. I want something new, right? Because I've changed, whatever. All right. Obviously, she's interested in history, functional / pragmatic spirituality, not this chakras and fucking sage and astrology and. It's like there's no practical aspect of it for the most part, right? It's all just you're high in the fucking clouds, right? Not grounded on earth, right? Well balanced. Anyways, into the STEM, obviously engineering, engineering / inventor, whatever. She's creative, basically, not just like, oh, I'm gonna paint art. It's okay, cool, paint art, but balance it with something like, I don't know, learn how to weld or something, So that's where sometimes these liberal girls are kind of actually cooler, but again, there's other attributes of them that she's like, yeah, again, hopefully I can find a hybrid, or she can, like I tell some girls, like, hey, just if you like pretending, right? If you're like an actress, just pretend this is a job. You're acting. It's an acting gig, and you're gonna get paid very well, right? Anyways, engineering, architectural design, right? Whether she's an interior designer or whatever, she at least knows how to use programs, right? And construction, like here, obviously, look at this, beautiful. Okay, she may not know anything, but she will follow my leadership, right? She'll follow because I know how to do this shit, right? And hopefully, she is proactive enough that she's like, okay, I learned this now. Thank you for teaching me this. I can do this on my own. Okay, cool. Here are the blueprints. Go do it. Cool. Hey, yeah, awesome. Because she's like, I love being a creator. This is really, apart from just creating out of my fucking womb and just sitting back, like that life is just so self-destructive. Anyways, in functional medicine, and I can go on and on. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm interested, right? So obviously the reality of life is that most women are only interested in shopping, traveling, gossiping, and fucking. As I tell a lot of girls, like that's what all. So we don't have the same interests. Men and women don't have the same interests. Men pretend, ladies. Men pretend, especially your men without options. Oh yeah, I like a personality. But then look at if they go down the marriage path and they don't divorce for whatever reason, right? We stick together. What does he do? He goes to his man cave. He eventually goes with his buddies, and she goes, around the house doing shit and goes shopping with her friends and gossiping and bingo nights or whatever the fuck, So yeah, they end up being together for the kids and economic reasons, which is usually kids too, economically speaking, So she's sex positive, right? Obviously, this one probably believes in monogamy, or she wants to be polyamorous or whatever, right? The other extreme. Okay, so well, sex positive. You could say this polyamorous too, to a certain degree, but yeah, I'm not gonna go down the path, right? Just in general, sex positive, right? Right. So she's like, oh, she's not like, I don't want you to fuck me in the ass. She's like, no, I love being fucked in the ass. I love sucking dick. I love, getting my pussy pounded or whatever, right? This one believes in monogamy. Maybe she's like kind of like prudish or whatever. I mean, actually, a lot of more girls are a little more freakier, and again, in time they do explore, right? But again, I say if you as a couple have to get into kinky shit, it's done. It's done. You've done everything you can. You need to find other partners. The problem is that it's because obviously if he has to pay the bills, all the stuff, right? That's where the problem is, ladies. And you can solve that, right? You can say, hey, you don't own me. First of all, I'm not making you pay for me, so there's no need for jealousy. Okay, I'm going to, have them tested. I have myself tested. I need you to get tested. Okay, so anyways, obviously non-possessive. Obviously, the reality is that most girls are insecure, thus they're jealous and will be possessive. Okay, willing to get her hands dirty, wants to go to the spa and salons, right? Trophy wife bullshit, and I ain't trying to have that. Okay, wants to learn new practical skills, right? She's always learning, wanting to do, learn new things, whatever, right? Or refine other skill sets, right? That she just feels good about, whatever, right? Obviously, the reality, a lot of these girls just want to be on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, just consuming mindless, mind-numbing, pointless nothingness, right? So, yeah, truly loves me with self-respect, right? Meaning that what's it called? Yeah, obviously, the fact that she doesn't charge me for anything, right? But in a sense, love is still a conditional, or you could say, right? Because if I start beating her up or whatever, like, I don't expect her to love me unconditionally where she just lets me beat her up, right? That's what I'm saying. That's a self-respect. Like, okay, I still love you, but I'm gonna love you now from far apart because you're hurting me, and I gotta respect myself and love myself, right? Obviously, the other one loves me conditionally, conditionally loves me, and sometimes, okay, and sometimes, let's say, sometimes respects and appreciates me ultimately, right? Because that's why I see a lot of girls, they don't appreciate. Right now, of course, it could be argued that when men have had enough of your coochie, like, yeah, they, when we say, well, he just stopped wooing me and he stopped giving me flowers and texting me and telling me how beautiful I am and da 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 da, he let himself go, blah blah blah. Okay, and it happens on the other side too. But yeah, and that's why women check out, whatever, and then they end up cheating or whatever. But regardless, I see men who do all that shit, and it still will not matter. Why? Because again, we are sexual beings and we need other sexual sustenance from other people, because other people are like other nutrients, right? It's like you can't eat a salad all the time. You can't eat just steak and fries all the time, right? It has to be a mixture because everything doesn't have everything in one thing. Okay. Now, okay, I said here. Now, apart from, let's say in this case, she does want me to, she is my domestic service provider, but let's see, is sexually is emotionally and sexually faithful if providing for her and other DSPs, domestic service providers. The fuck? Out of respect. Okay. Will probably feel jealous and will cheat behind my back, so that she's like, well, it's only fair. It's like, really, I'm paying for your whole life. You're paying for your whole life. Again, you're not my property. Okay, this is what you guys gotta tell them. Okay, good. Here's 30 minutes. You're not my property, but if you don't want to follow, I'm the customer. If you don't feel you don't want to follow my needs, right? As a customer, I'm like, this is my needs, right? I can't have you fucking other dudes who aren't paying you, right? Now, there is a thing where it's like, okay, if the dude wants to split the bills, right? If you tell him, hey, this guy's paying me 60 grand, he says, okay, I'll pay you 30, and you pay you 30, and we just share you. Hey, even better, because it costs me less, right? And of course, hopefully I know the dude, that way I know he's not a piece of shit or whatever. But still, you're still gonna have to, you're gonna have to be tested. So basically, she'll probably live with me for like a week. I think, 2 weeks maybe at max, something like that. We'll figure it out, right? 1 week with me, she gets tested, then she goes with him for 1 week, and back and forth or whatever, right? But again, most men are probably not gonna do that. Most men are not that evolved, and women are also just like, no, like my girlfriend, like, I can't date the both of you, I just can't. And of course, that her young dude that she went with, I'm like, you're supposed to fuck up, not fuck down. So yeah, he wasn't having it because why? She was living rent free with his parents, because his parents wouldn't be cool with it if she's like, oh yeah, she's flying to Oregon to fucking fuck her old boyfriend so that she can get compensated later on in life for willing to be that type of girl, right? So yeah, so the ideal woman, so let's say she's like, what, I don't want to fuck the other dudes because they don't got what you got, right? So even though I say, okay, she's sex positive and whatever, right? My ideal woman obviously would be just, again, and she again, she's like, okay, look, yeah, if that ever were to change, I'll let you know. I'll never cheat on you, right? I'll let you know when I need somebody else, and I'll obviously I'll present your contract to them so I know I'm secured over there. Because again, ladies, you shouldn't be ashamed for wanting stability and security. Just be loyal, okay? And men, just let them go, okay? Let them go. Plus, why would you? If she was an awesome ass woman, okay, I can see why you would want to continue to pursue her and chase her and tell her to to be around your life, right? It may be even okay, even the rarest, the strangest, or the rarest of, I guess, or you can say even more truly loving is the man that says, you know what, since I know that you also need other men, right? I'm still gonna pay you because you provided quality, great quality service, and you still do, right? And you're not lying to me. You're telling me about these dudes. I'm willing to basically pay for your shit and still allow these dudes to bank you because I know I gotta bang 5 other chicks, and you're gonna get lonely, so you gotta get your needs met too, right? Now I'm not one of those dudes, but I'm saying I could put myself, and I've heard stories of supposedly similar dudes that do that. This one billionaire that my buddy knew, right? His dad knew, whatever they knew, or whatever, in like Lake Geneva, right? In Wisconsin. Yeah, she ends up fucking the maintenance guy, and this guy is still whatever. I mean, he probably wasn't even fucking her anymore because she was old, but she provided those years of services, and so he's like, okay, cool, yeah, fuck the guy, I don't care, and he's still paying for her lavish lifestyle, just to continue, yeah, drinking and shopping. That's what basically these women do, right? Because he's an idiot. To me, he's an idiot. He wants his trophy wife, but whatever. Again, to each their own. I'm not judging anything bad or saying I just disagree. I wouldn't do that because it also causes a problem for society, and it's just not good for the person in general and the people around them too. All right, so there you go. So my ideal woman, but what I'm realistic and have to deal with. Okay, I may get pieces here and there of this and that, right? Like this one, definitely I don't want the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. But the texting time, so again, since I'm not planning on keeping them forever, like, okay, you want to be on Instagram thought, all right? You want to be on Facebook showing your ass? You want to be on TikTok fucking doing challenges and fucking just showing your ass like on Instagram? Great. You will just be, come over, let's bang, please go home because we can't talk about jack shit. Whereas these girls, I'm going to take my vacation because we can talk about shit, right? They're cool to be around with, right? They're not insecure, right? They're not constantly on their phone doing nothing, unless they're running a business per se online or whatever, right? So I think I said here, business minded. I think, yeah. So at least you can help with, something with the business, right? Let's see, business minded. Yeah, minded. Most likely lazy. Mentally and physically. Okay, so yeah, so that's but it doesn't hurt to be like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, if you're more like this, okay, cool, then I'm just gonna rent you, right? Some of these girls like, it's cool, great, right? The sugar baby thing, right? Which is fine. Again, not that you can't use a sugar baby thing to find something in this, or somewhere in the middle, right? Or at least just, okay, it's like, okay, you don't want to be faithful, okay, then fine. Then again, that's what I'm saying, just let it be a short, okay, just, hey, can you be faithful for at least 6 months, whatever, right? And of course, then you're like, okay, now you got to trust them, which is, modern day women is very hard to trust. So again, why not just open an adult film company? I get all the thing that, some of these girls, as they're exiting, they're, some of them may actually be a little bit more rational, be like, hey, like, the reason you're important is the reason I'm important. We love sex. There's nothing bad about it. But I want to have a kid. You may want to have a kid too, right? You probably want to have a kid with a stellar guy. Okay, let's have one together. You don't have to be in the kid's life if you don't want to. She's like, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, actually, that's great. I still want the experience of being kind of like a mother, but I know that you have the full custody and the full responsibility. So if I ever just want to come once a week, once a month, once every 3 months, whatever, I'm free. And of course, the kids are better to be raised by an older, wise man than some little young girl that's just, wants to be wild and free. Okay, so there you go. Hopefully, again, you got to put everything you want on paper. Again, I'm creating templates for couples, right? It's like, okay, where are you? Do you guys live in a house, apartment, blah, blah, your family's house? Okay, cool. Okay, who's responsible for what? Okay, who's going to do the dishes? Who's paying the bills? Who's paying the electricity? Is it 50-50? Are you guys doing a ratio because maybe someone works from home more, or someone consumes a lot more energy, whatever, right? You just got to do the math, right? And sometimes some math you just got to keep redoing it. You just got to balance your books at the end of the month, right? Just like a checkbook back in the day. You got to balance all that shit out, right? So that way, if there's a fight, no one can say, oh, you took advantage of me. It's like, wait, how? Wait. I did this, and this. This is valued at this. You did this and that. It's valued at this, or this, or that. Okay? Is there a difference? Okay, let's, we can, if it's a big gap, okay, maybe the money can be paid, right? Something like that. Who knows? Again, everything's negotiable. You got to work things out. You got to talk about things. But more importantly, you can't improve what you don't measure, so you have to measure things. I know it gets hard. Or how about you simplify? Okay, since when we did the painstaking work of measuring everything, we see that on average you're bringing more to the table. Okay, fine. We know that. Okay, so we already know you're the one bringing more to the table. So because of that, how do you want me to act so you don't feel disrespected, right? For bringing all this to the table. And there you go, man. That's when you gotta have your shit down, right? And of course, you gotta be willing to enforce it, which a lot of you will not, because you don't have the options. You're broke, right? And you just found a girl that's willing to deal with your broke ass for a while or for the rest of her life, depending on her sexual market value and sometimes just her own headspace. There's sometimes beautiful girls that are just. I've seen a couple in my life, man. Like this one girl, oh my god, with my buddy Trevor. Yeah, she was beautiful, but man, she wasn't all there. And I wonder what happened. She probably already left. I'm pretty sure. But at the time, it seemed like she was. She was definitely digging me. And I sensed it from Trevor, and that's why I left. I stopped talking to him because I saw that there was some kind of, his girlfriend was attracted to seeing a man growing, and her man just still kind of just being like, the system this, excuses. So all right, peace out, y'all.